straight talk with Valerie. Come on, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Yeah, it's straight talk with Valerie. Come on. It's straight talk with Valerie. It's straight talk with Valerie. Come on, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. It's straight talk with Valerie. Come on, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. It's straight talk with Valerie. Come on. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
What's happening, Detroit? How are you doing on this Monday before Juneteenth? It's been a minute. COVID-19 had us handicapped for a little while, but we are back. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream, straight talk with Valerie, coming live to you from the studio tonight. 88.1 FM in the Detroit area and 107.3 in the Virgin Islands. And I have a guest with me tonight. I have Jerome in the house, but not the ugly Jerome. The handsome Jerome.
Hey, what's going on, Detroit?
So he is in the house with me tonight, and we want to talk about, is it open season on the black man? Because I think it is.
Yep.
And I think it started since we first arrived in this country centuries ago. And it became exacerbated when we got a little power with the Black Panther movement. And see, people have a lot of misconceptions about the Black Panthers. They weren't a gang or a hate group. They were trying to take control of their community by building what would be like a Black Wall Street and providing everything that we needed in our communities and making sure our women and our kids were educated and safe and that we had food and all of those things. So the FBI put a hit out for the Black Panther Party. They opened season on them.
They broke them down real quick. They didn't want no more. They didn't want no more strong black men in the communities at that point.
Exactly. So black men's liberties have always been infringed upon. But let's fast forward to of late.
Yeah.
The police have been just mutilating our black men. I refuse to show the clip of George Floyd or the other gentleman in Atlanta that was just gunned down by the police.
Right.
Because I've seen that and I can't unsee it. And I know anybody that's watching this show, you've seen it too. And you can't unsee it. But I'm going to show a clip shortly of a police officer that's showing hell of a restraint.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be surprised at how much restraint this officer is showing. Can you roll that clip for me, Marquise?
Get down! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground now! Get on the ground! Put your feet, your hands on your back now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! You have? Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
Dude, get on the ground.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! I'm hitting you!
Got a death wish.
He's chasing the taser didn't phase him.
Yeah.
He's gonna shoot him. He's gonna shoot. Oh shit!
Who is he on?
Get over now!
He's trying not to use his gun.
Car! Now! Get out! Get up!
Shoot his tires out. Shoot his tire out.
Not a gun.
He gonna kill himself. Oh, here come the helicopter. Yeah, that's helicopter. Here they come. Shoot his tires out, dude. Don't let him drive away. Oh, he gonna kill himself.
Kill somebody else.
Oh, watch out! He's running.
If he ain't black, he would have been
Oh, he would have been killed him.
So I see you laughing. And, you know, I kind of laughed a little bit too, Jerome. Like, wait a minute.
He got all the breaks in the world.
Not
Oh, my God.
one shot fired.
And he chased the cop.
He
That
chased him.
The
And that cop ran like hell. That's when I laughed because he took off
and
running. He
not
ran.
The white guy that he's trying to subdue is not even half the size of the black man that they put their knees on their necks and killing. Not even half the size. The guy the police officer never had his hand on his gun at all. He had his taser out. What's wrong with tasing black men? So you can get control if you have to do that. But every black man that I've seen killed by a cop has put his hands up and given up before he was killed. Mm-hmm. I don't understand this.
Or even running in the opposite direction where they're not even a threat.
And you shoot him in the back, several times and kill him. This guy here this has got to be a blooper of some sort. Because I can't believe that is a real police officer.
Nah,
oh my God.
It's not a blooper.
Oh,
it's
wow.
real, and it's showing that the police can use restraint and control if they choose to.
That's right.
So, recent shootings of black men by police officers have highlighted a deep, uncomfortable truth about many Americans. They fear black men.
Yep.
The stereotype of the black man as the aggressor.
That's true.
A physically powerful, unpredictable product of poverty. I'm going to say that again. They fear black men.
That's right.
The stereotype of the black man as the aggressor. A physically powerful, unpredictable product of poverty. What do you think about that?
Hey, I think they full of crap, really, with their notions of being scared for their life when they approach a black man. I mean, look at a man that was trying to sit in his car. He told him his gun was in the car. You shot this man in his car, and his daughter was in the back seat. You had no regard if the bullet would go through the seat and hit his daughter or anything. I think they show restraint against their own because they have respect for their own. I think a lot of these officers don't have respect for black people at all.
That could be true.
And they don't think that we're even worthy of being here at all.
I think a part of it is they do disregard us as human beings.
That's right.
They look at us as animals or whatever. And then the other part of it, I feel that they know we don't have no power.
Yeah.
And so when we discuss this a little bit more, but there's a clip that I'm going to show in a few minutes where this former white police officer admitted it.
That his training was
because he
that.
knows we don't have power. We can't pick up the phone and call a congressperson or whatever, but he don't know me. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
But as a whole.
Yeah. But we shouldn't have to go to that extent. We should be getting our respect from the beginning. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to go through the rigmarole of calling this person, getting this person, getting this community leader to do this and do that. It should already be set that way. I mean, we are the driving power of the American nation. It's built on blacks and Latinos' backs for centuries. I mean, we built this country.
They work for us. We pay their salary.
They
Tax
pay their
dollars
salary.
pay their salary.
All
You
that.
work for me.
That's right. You work for me. If you can't work for me and do your job and keep your hands off my children and my brothers and sisters, then what do we need you for?
Well, I'm afraid, brother, it's gonna be a revolt soon.
Well, I mean,
They got to just run up on the wrong one.
I hoped and prayed that it doesn't be like
I do
it doesn't
too.
happen like that. But
But-
if it does, And whoever starts that revolt, I hope they start it in the right manner, in the right fashion. I don't want to see people in general being killed because they're white cops and nothing like that, even though, you know, they kill enough of us for nothing, you know. It's kind of hard to be a black man here and not have that hatred, you know, towards an individual because of their color and how they're treating us. You know, I'm a half product of a half breed. My family is Irish and Native American. You know, I grew up in black neighborhoods. You know, I have black people in my family. I have black blood in my blood veins. It might not be very much, but it's black still the same. You know, I'm still a product of a colored man. So yeah, it's a bad thing to feel like that. And then I have a son that just graduated and is going to college, and I don't want to have to wake up and get that phone call, a cop killed my son. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know I'm not gonna rest until there's something done, and that's how people feel now. These people, these families of victims, they feel like that. I can't rest. You're not doing enough for me, and my son or my daughter has been hurt or killed by these cops.
I agree. Let me say this, because when you said that black men are being killed over nothing, I have a list. Black men have been killed over a CD, wallet, Skittles, Lucy's, toy gun, jogging, cigarillos, cell phone, loud music, wrong house, counterfeit bill, broken taillight, failure to signal, no license plate, sleeping at home, shopping at Walmart, concealed carry permit, sleeping in the car at Wendy's.
Yeah, nothing.
2 nights ago.
Nothing.
And let's not forget about Barbecue Becky.
Yeah.
Black people are barbecuing in the park. That's what the park is for. And then South Park Susan.
Yeah.
Because she should have had her dog on a leash and she didn't want to put it on a leash. And then Permit Patty calls the police on a little black girl selling water because she didn't have a permit. I'm going to say this, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I said I was going to say it now. I just watched on the news yesterday where a woman was at Kroger in Southfield somewhere. And she had her little son climbed up on the shelf. This was on the news.
Get her something.
To get her a Gatorade. And the white lady, I guess, had something to say about it. And when she came out of Kroger, the lady stood behind her car and wouldn't move.
Yeah, she waited there.
I would have slapped her down to the ground.
You know what?
It would have took the strength of God
Yeah.
for me not to mollywop you because you followed me. I'm telling you, somebody coming to get me that day.
Yeah.
It's going to take everything I have in my power not to dog walk you.
Yeah.
Stand up. You exacerbating this situation. I'm at Kroger.
Yeah.
Buying my damn groceries.
You
didn't
only
even
that,
have to come out the store behind me.
You already paid for your product and you're already gone. You're in a parking lot
She's
at this
standing
point.
behind a stroller like, and I'm so happy that the woman was in a different frame of mind. And I'm praying that Jesus show up that day if it's me.
Yeah.
Show up.
Yeah,
Show up so I won't turn into Peter and get your ear or something.
Yeah,
show up. Lord, I need you to show up.
Yeah,
I need you to show up.
Sometimes you need God in these situations to talk to you. And a lot of people are here now their faith is shooken because since Trayvon Martin, I mean, in these later years, it's been a downhill fall for black men. You know, that has never been set right to me. You know, there's no amount of money that can replace a life of a loved one. First of all,
that's one check I don't want to cash, Jerome.
Right? You don't want to cash no check like that.
I don't want that. And about my health.
And you don't want to come up like that. You know, you want to come up on your stature, on you being a man and you or a woman and you earning things, not somebody giving you something because you lost someone. You don't want that. But police officers, especially white police officers, should always talk to a black man. We're not monkeys. We're very intelligent, you know, and we're very humble people. All you do is talk to us. You can't run up to a black man that's already knows his history with racism with your gun out. You're making us nervous. You know, and some of us carriers I feel like if you touch my window and you see from my license plate, first of all, you can see from my license plate if I have insurance or not. You know, now if I give you just enough room, 2 inches on my window, and I hand you my information, and you go to grab my window, try to break my window, I feel threatened for my life, and I know there's a words in your CPL that if you feel threatened for your life, that's when you have to use your weapon.
Yeah.
You can't use it when you're not there. You can't use it because I'm mad at you because you stepped on my shoe. I can't use it for that, you know. But if I feel threatened for my life, I'm going to use my weapon. And I don't care if you got a uniform or not because you're scaring me. You know, so I feel threatened by you. And if I got a child or a grandchild in my car, I'm not going to let you bust my window out and go to snatching on my door because you got a problem because I'm a black man and I don't have any tickets. My license is clean. I have insurance. I know the law. So you're going to get mad because I know the law? I know the law. So I hope there's nobody out here trying to start a race war.
That's what I'm hoping too, because usually the wrong people get hurt in those.
Yes.
You know, and that's what I don't want to see. I feel like there is another way to handle it, but we are a long ways from it.
Yes, we are.
Because even after George Floyd died, that 8 minutes and 46 seconds that someone had a knee on his neck. And we've done, and as you know, several peaceful protests.
Right.
But at a few of them,
some
the protesters stopped. Some laid on the ground, and some just kneeled for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
So I want to know, why does white America see the black man as a threat? And I'm putting a call out, anyone that's on the live or any of my friends who are white or other than black, if you want to come on this show and have a discussion about that, let's do that, because I need to understand why.
What's your problem?
Yeah,
Period.
it's almost like they're genetically predisposed to
Right.
to feel that way or
Right.
somewhere. You born like that?
Right.
You know, and that's why I am against some of the things that are being proposed as legislation. When we get to the segment tonight, what the hell you talking about? We're going to talk about that. But right now, let's go to the clip, Marquise, of the police officer. This white police officer is going to reveal secrets on how to falsely arrest blacks, because he used to do it and then God changed his heart, so he stopped. And we're going to see what he has to say.
Really insulting to me. And after I did that, I realized, wow, I shouldn't have, I had no right to do that. That was not professional. It not only was it not professional, it was not human. About a week later, another incident occurred, and I used more force than I needed. After the guy was handcuffed, I grabbed him, I pushed him up against the wall, and I said, "Don't you dare say that to me again. Do you understand?" And I realized this is a disease I'm starting to develop.
The hunt for black people, as he calls it, is part of a racist system that he condemns today. The first thing he denounces is the quota of arrest imposed on U.S. police in many large cities. This race for numbers pushes them to stop black people for no reason.
Quotas lead to arrests for no reason. Minorities have no one to call if they're wrongly arrested. The white person will call their local political committee man or person. They'll call the parents, perhaps, of a teenager, will call the local politician. "Yo, what's going on here? My child was arrested just because he didn't have his license. Why don't you just tell him to go home and get his license?" And things like, so the white person has more power. Black people have no connection to the people in power. So you know there's not going to be any blowback on arresting a minority because they don't have any power to complain.
And African Americans are not only unjustly arrested, they are not treated with the same respect as white people are.
If you stop somebody from going through a light, you would say, hey, out of your car. Out of your car. Show me ID. You wouldn't say that. To a white person, you would go up and say, may I see your driver's license, please? And blacks know that. Blacks know when you go up and say, hey, out of your car, now. And then they say, whoa, what did I do? Oh, what did I do? Don't say that. Don't ask me why I'm stopping you. I said get out of the car. And that's right there, your first disrespect. And I saw that happening, and blacks know it's happening. They know it's not happening to white people, so automatically they start resenting the police, just from little verbal commands, let alone the physicality of grabbing somebody and putting them in handcuffs while you check their ID. Unfortunately, when I would tell other officers, whoa, that's enough, then they would think, hey, what are you? N for the word. What are you, an N lover?
Since he retired, he campaigns openly against the racist behavior of the police. The former officer has even made a very explicit sign.
I'm asking police, end open season. Stop shooting black men just like they're some kind of animal.
They wouldn't do that with a white?
No.
Why?
They they devalue the black man. The black man is, well, let's put it this way. In driving down a street in Philadelphia on a hot Friday night in August, I was with a partner, and of course, hot August night in Philadelphia, a lot of these people don't have air conditioning, and they're outside. So there's a lot of people outside on the steps in the street, and as we're riding down, my partner says, wow, the roaches are out tonight.
So,
This guy is.
you people are outside because you don't have air conditioning. Now we're outside because we like to hang outside at night under
Yeah.
the street light. That's how we do our thing.
That's how
you
we
know.
were raised.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's how we
that-
raised. We just come out. So that's culturally incompetent. But I do have to give this officer some praise for coming out
Right.
and saying what it is.
Right. He said what it is, but I don't sound like he really, to me, it felt,
Genuine?
genuine to me, because, it sounded like he still got a little bit of that hatred in him for black men. He just telling on a couple of other people to me. I commend him for doing what he did, though, but we know it's open season. You know what I mean? And what he stated about get out the car, I understand that too, but we have to know our rights.
Yeah, like get out the car for what?
I'm not getting out the car. You have my identification, my information, and that is all you need.
What about the right to remain silent? I might
Yeah.
not want to talk.
There it is.
All of that goes out the window. I might not want to
Right,
talk.
right. And I'm not going to ask you what you stopped me for. You have two things to get from me: my license and my insurance. Because if you don't have a registration, you won't have a license plate.
True.
So it's a license plate on a car. All you need is two pieces of identification when you come to my car. I'm not giving you nothing but that, and I don't have to speak to you. You really don't have to ask me for it, because if you pull me over, I'm already something
Yeah,
in
we
my
already
hand.
getting
You know
it
what I
ready.
mean? I already
Right.
got it ready because we already know the
Like
system.
mine be out the window
Right,
because
yeah.
as a carrier, and they automatically know if you got a gun or not.
That's right. And
because they've attached that to your driver's
They
license now.
attach it to
So
your driver's
I don't
license.
want no problems.
That's right.
I want my hands where you can see them, and I have my driver's license and everything ready,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna put it out the window.
There you go. That's all.
So you
need
don't
to do.
have no reason to do anything else.
That's it. You don't have no reason to grab my door. Your partner on the other side with his hand on his gun. You're coming ready. You're approaching black men and women ready to do damage. That's a big problem now. You're ready to do damage. You're ready to kill one of us. You're ready to get that stripe on your shoulder for killing a black man like a buck. And that's a big problem in the United States of America. It really is.
It is. You know, I see on the line Carolyn Jackson put a gif up and said praying. Yes, Carolyn Jackson, I pray all the time, but I will be praying on that day because I don't know, you know, they got Barbecue Becky and Permit Patty. That's going to be Kroger Kathy, I guess. I don't know what the hell they going to name this lady, but she's nuts.
Right.
And, you know, somebody was praying for her when she didn't know how to pray for herself, that sister didn't dog walk her, get from
right.
behind my car.
And you know,
I didn't steal anything. Why are you
Right.
even trying to do a citizen's arrest on me? Because my son stepped on a shelf and got me a Gatorade down. If you don't get somewhere, I'm calling the mental hospital on you.
She needed to be arrested and put in jail.
Yeah.
You know, and she needed to be
It's like a hate
she needed to
crime.
be sued. All of that. But when it comes to us, the Black American, we don't get those privileges right off the back.
That's true.
We have to pursue in suing somebody. We have to pursue in getting our rights upheld, and it's unfair, and we getting tired of it.
Now, let's talk a little bit about rights. Because for me, I've been a part of a couple of organizations. The mayor has appointed me to a position. I've been a member on the chamber or whatever, and they always say I pledge allegiance to the flag. I hate that shit. But I say it, you know, because I already knew I was going to have to say it when I signed up, right? So you can't go in somebody else's house and change the rules, right? So I say it, but let me tell you why I say it. It's not about that it has racial undertones, because that's when it was written during slavery. I have no problem with that. I'm just not a liar, and I don't want to recite a lie. And when I get to the part that says "and liberty and justice for all," it's not liberty and justice for all, and I don't want to say that.
You know, I don't believe in flags because, for one thing, the American flag is built off a racist nation that enslaved not only Black Americans, Native Americans, and they did things to these people when they wouldn't build things for them or move things for them for hundreds and hundreds of years. This the same flag that the Ku Klux Klan had in their hand when they was burning and hanging our ancestors. Why do I have to show respect to that, to me? Because I was born and raised in America. America in itself, to me, is a lie, because that's not the true name of this nation. You know, the Native Americans didn't name it America. White America named it America. You know.
Well, you know, I understand what you're saying, respect it, and agree with it. The reason why I have no problem saluting it or standing for it is because of the people I know that died fighting for the freedom for the country. And then my father was a Vietnam vet. My uncle, Vietnam vet, you know, and a lot of people fought for this country's freedom when they weren't free to live in it.
That's right.
And so I stand there in honor of them, because I say, well, hell, my uncle got wounded.
Yeah.
You know, so if he can stand and salute this flag after all he's been through, then I can salute it in reverence. But there's some things that I just don't agree with it. But then you're looked at as if, like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're not standing for the flag?
You're not standing for the flag, and something must be wrong with you.
Yeah, something must be wrong with you.
you
Go
must
back
be-
where you came from. You
must be
stole
a
me from
communist.
where I was at, right? You
You're
the
a
one that stole
communist.
me and put me on the damn boat. Don't
Right,
tell me to come
right.
back.
You-
I'm here now. You talk about looting. Y'all
Right.
looted a whole bunch of blacks and brought them over here
Right,
from Africa
right, but-
with your looting ass. Then
Right.
talk about we looting. Target got insurance. They
Right.
gonna get their money
Yeah, that's
back or
what-
whatever.
And you know what? I want to urge our Black people, our Black brothers and sisters, and Mexican brothers and sisters, because we are brothers and sisters, and some of you white brothers and sisters. Stop looting. You helping them get more money. You tear and break into their stuff. All that stuff, that even to the shoestrings that you steal in the store, it's all under insurance. You're not helping yourself. You're helping them. You know, don't put another stain on a Black person's name for that. Don't do that. Don't loot and steal. That's not what we're about. But stand up for yourself, though. Don't let nobody push you around, and we're going to keep this fight going from this point on, and we cannot stop. The village has to be rebuilt in these neighborhoods. Please rebuild your villages. If you can't get, we used to get our asses whipped for stepping on the wrong grass. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
We used to get we used to get beat from one neighbor's house to the next neighbor's house till we got home. And guess what? When our parents got home, we still got our asses whooped. You know, we got to stand up and get that village back. We got to learn how to garden again. We got to stop depending on racist America to provide for us. We need to learn how to provide for ourselves like our ancestors did. When they went out there and planted their own corn and all that stuff, they provided for their families. We need to do that again.
Yes, and let me say this and be clear. Protesters are protesters. Looters are looters. We are not the same.
That's right.
You know, we are not the same. You know, so if someone stands up to protest something, that doesn't mean that they're a looter. Separate groups of people. Looters are not rioters. Separate group of people.
Yep.
Rioters riot because they want to be heard.
True that.
So protesters, looters, and rioters
are three different entities.
Three different entities. We are not the
same.
same.
That's right.
So don't mix the few together.
Yep.
Let's make that clear. So we are going to go into our next segment, and it's called "What the Hell You Talking About?"
What is you talking
So
about?
let's get ready for that, Marquise. So this segment is called "What the Hell You Talking
What you
About?"
talking about? The hell you talking about?
And we gonna start with When we say Black Lives Matter, we didn't say only Black Lives Matter. So what the hell are you talking about when you say all lives matter? What the hell are you talking about?
They just, I think they just trying to just take it off of, take that tension off of what's really going on. We know that all lives matter, but we're not talking about all lives right now. We're talking about these brothers' lives, black lives. And this has been going on for a long time, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about when you say all lives matter right now. We're in a dilemma right now about black people. We're not in a dilemma about all people. Even when these protesters have been laying down in the city of Detroit and other cities, and the white protesters, they're still being handled different than you handle black protesters when you put your hands on them. So what the hell are you talking about when you talk about all lives matter and black, not just black lives matter? We're not talking about all lives.
White people, stop trying to interject yourselves in our social issues with your own narrative. We welcome you. We want to hold hands with you, sing Kumbaya, and march with you, but go along with the program. Don't try to change the narrative. If it is a Black Lives Matter march, don't come to the march talking about what about the gay people? What about them? You know, if we love them. We love everybody.
That's right.
But this particular narrative is about Black lives. Don't come with that other stuff, because I'm going to say, what the hell are you talking about? So my next one. Black people don't protest when black people kill other black people. They only protest when a white cop kills a black person. What the hell are you talking about?
You cannot. Who said that? Who said that? That's a bull crap.
A lot of times.
I mean, look. The thing about black on black crime, first, it starts at home. Secondly, black on black crime is there, but it's not publicized like it is with white on black crime. That's why you don't see black on black crime like you see on white on black crime, because they don't publicize it. They don't care when we kill each other. So we have to realize that we have to get out of that killing each other. That's your brother you killing. I don't care if it's from another family. That is your blood brother that you put in the grave.
Well, to me, typical law enforcement protocol is secure the perimeter, and let them kill themselves.
That's
if
right.
That's what the end all be all is going to be.
That's
right?
why you got these brand new race drivers and these Hellcats flying through our neighborhoods on their own with no flags, no green flags, no checker flags, and they drive around in circles, just flying up and down the street, middle of the night. You got drug dealers doing what they want to do, which you can't. To me, I'm gonna tell you something. There's no way in hell that you're going to possibly stop all crime.
No, you're not.
You're not. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But are you going to do it? I don't see anybody in the neighborhoods doing anything. I don't see any police. I see a lot of police downtown now. Oh, don't go around Eastern Market playing around. You know, from that point on, I mean...
And what did I say?
So
Secure the perimeter.
That's right. They got
and let them kill
there
themselves.
It is.
And that perimeter is don't cross over 8 Mile.
Don't cross over 8 Mile. Nope.
Don't cross past Midtown with this.
That's right.
You know, and I think it's a shame if you're driving down Woodward downtown and it looks so beautiful, and then it looks like a bomb went off once you reach Highland Park.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But then once you cross 8 Mile, it looks good
There's
again.
you back looking good again. So, but you know, and it's like when you got your people with the little trolley, the train going downtown.
Yeah, the Q line.
Q line. Once you get to North End, head downtown, it's back beautiful again. But the police presence is so thick in that area that it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So if I got hit by a car on the 6th of June last Sunday, you know, this guy plowed me over on my motorcycle and kept going.
What?
Kept going. Ran me down like a dog in the street, looked over at me, and kept going. He saw I was still moving. He just took off.
Wow.
He just took off.
Well,
So-
I'm glad that you're all right.
Well, I'm fine.
God
I
is
got a
good,
couple. I got a
yeah.
couple of issues, but I can live. I'm glad I'm here. You know, because I didn't. The rag doll he gave me, I shouldn't have been here. I should have been dead. But that's another thing. You know, police presence. If you're in an area, the police complain about not making enough money. There are so many protocols that you can take. If you got 3 lines at a corner at a light, a thick white one, 2 pedestrian lines. That thick white line is there for a reason, because if a truck comes, if there are truck drivers in that area, the truck's allowed to be on that street, you're supposed to be all the way behind that thick white line. You're not supposed to be right there to pass between the pedestrian line. That's a ticket. If you're sitting right there doing your job in a neighborhood, not in a midtown area, north end, or downtown, if you want money or want to be able to write tickets and build up revenue, do your job. These people violate simple laws every day.
Well, I had to write my answer to that one, so I won't get the cursing and stuff. So I'm like, let me just write this down. So what I say is it possible that people really don't understand the difference between acts of criminality by black people and police violence on black people? I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, but the criminality of black people and that act of criminality is different than police violence on black people.
Yes, it
Number
is.
one. And while I don't belong to the Black Lives Matters movement, and I don't want to speak for its members, I find them to be provocative, courageous, profoundly committed to anti-racism, and successful in moving the needle on larger societal understanding of issues that harm the marginalized. So let's stay focused on one issue at a time. If we say we're protesting and Black Lives Matter with the police, don't come talking about what about black on black crime in the community. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
We're not talking about that
We're
right
not talking
now.
about that
Let's
right now.
stay focused on the topic. That's
yeah.
not what we're talking
Yeah, we
about.
already know that's an issue. We have to work on black crime eternally in our neighborhoods. I'm going to stop saying neighborhood first of all.
What do you want to call it?
I'm going to call it my village,
Okay.
because I have a greenhouse in my backyard. You
Okay.
know, and I think that more people should grow their own stuff and get to know each other, get to know your neighbor, even though your neighbor might be a little bit ratchet. You understand what I'm saying? You got to know who they are.
But they still your neighbor.
He's still your neighbor.
We got to bring the neighbor back to the hood.
Even though her kids is running up and down the street with diapers on, at 5 years old, it don't make a difference. That's your neighbor.
It's your neighbor.
You got to love on them
Love on
anyway.
everybody.
You
You
know?
know, as my friend Yusuf Bunchy Shakur says, bring the neighbor back to the hood.
There you go. Bring her back
And
to
you
the
know,
hood.
there is something wrong when we can't understand the trauma that these individuals have faced in their lifetime to
Right.
get them to the degree where they are. And I don't fully understand it. You know, being black, raised in Inkster, I can't say that I understand every single subculture of the black culture, because I don't. Sometimes I'm looking at people too like, damn, you know, like, what's up with that?
It's impossible to understand it.
But I will say this. In the midst of a raw emotional protest, white people, that is not the time to ask these type of questions.
Yes. No, that's not.
Let's
that's not,
stick to the agenda.
Yeah.
Don't start call your friend. I have a few friends that they know they can ask me whatever, and
Right.
I'll ask them whatever. Call a friend, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Right.
Phone a friend.
Right. Phone a
You know,
friend.
don't, because these things are different. And when people are in the midst of their raw emotions, they don't want to hear that. And plus, you might run up on somebody that's not that culturally diverse
Right.
and fond of you.
Right.
And then you start this whole mess when you were just being inquisitive. Because I don't think a lot of people mean harm when they're asking these questions. I don't think you're trying to be facetious. You just don't know. And I get that. But I'm just trying to save you some cursing out and some embarrassment. Don't do that. We know that all lives matter. So when we say Black Lives Matter, we know that all lives matter. We're not saying only Black Lives Matter. So if somebody asks you what the hell you talking about, you heard it here first. Don't say that.
That's right.
Because that's not something you should be saying. I see Barry Dobbs on here. I love this brother. I never met him. He's from Chicago. Cool brother, though. I follow his lives and stuff. Barry Dobbs, you ever in Detroit, make sure you hit up Black Coffee, no sugar, no cream. Come on down the show and kick it.
Come on down, Chi-Town. Come on down.
Yeah, we welcome that Chicago love in here, Barry
y'all got
Dobbs.
the same issues we got.
So you could come on the show. Let me know, and we can chop it up right here on 88.1 FM. So here's another one. Racist cops need de-escalation training. I've read some legislation because Trishay and I, stop laughing, I want to make my point.
What do you mean training?
So,
I don't understand I don't understand that training.
They said that
it's about being human to another human to me. You can't look if any law enforcement is trained a certain way to treat Black people different from white people, then it's a problem in itself already. So the training to me is train somebody like this is your mama, somebody grabbing on and beating on. I want you to sit there and look at this video. Your actual mom getting punched in the face, and you can't do anything about it, and you standing there. I want to know how you feel. Show them some videos of their,
their
people being beat down. Let me see I want to see the reaction of those officers that has a little racial blood running through their veins. I want to see how their reaction on some other white racist person being manhandled by a cop, a Black cop, and let's see how you act.
Let me say this. Racism is entrenched in the mind.
That's right.
It's entrenched in the mind. There is no simple educational moment that is going to reverse that. So what the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. The training must be done at a table full of waffles and scrambled eggs and syrup. It must be some kind of issue,
going to work. Let me tell you something. That stuff starts at a very young age.
Yeah.
I remember as a small child, maybe 8, 9 years old, I was still playing with baby dolls, not Barbies, the babies, and I wanted a baby alive. And I remember on Christmas opening up the package, and the baby alive was white. And I asked my mom, like, whose baby is this? It's not mine, because she's not the same color. And my mom was like, it's your baby. Like, can you still feed it? It had the little bottle, and you can change the diaper. Did it wet its diaper and all of that? And I'm like, yes. And she was like, well, it's your baby. Now, as an adult, I know my mom stood in line long as hell, probably got there to get me this baby alive that I really, really wanted, and there were no more Black ones on the shelf.
Well, the dolls were really made for Black people, were Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, because they felt like that represented a Black person back in the day.
I'm sure my mother was thinking, girl, if you don't play with that damn doll, and I done stood in line for 5 hours at Kmart, had to catch the blue light special to get you this doll, and you talk about she not the same color. Yeah. But that was a moment of a teachable moment for me to say, no, it's still a baby. You love it. Right. You treat it the same. You feed it. You change the diaper. Now, my mother had me in the middle of the civil rights movement. I was born in Alabama, 1964, and my mother has a lot of good reason why she feels the way that she feels about white people about racism, but she did not raise me to be that way. And that's why I say no educational moment is going to change the racism that's entrenched in some tyrant that's on a police force. That's a waste of time. However, I do have a consulting company, Strategic Transitions Consulting, and we can come to your police department and train on that de-escalation
I would
training.
love to train some of you people, cops, officers. I would love to give you some training education.
But that is not the answer.
It's
you know
not.
what I think is the answer? I'm going to tell you. Not one of the whole answers, but in part. If police officers had to get professional liability insurance like a doctor have malpractice, and when you whip somebody's ass, the taxpayers don't pay for it, you pay
do?
for it?
Yeah.
You will keep your hands
you
to
pay
yourself.
for it with your pocket.
And you will de-escalate.
Yeah, you pay for your pocket. But we got some that just don't care.
No, but let me tell you, the cop that kneeled on George Floyd's neck, the wife was like, "Oh, I just can't stand this racism, and I'm going to divorce him." No, you're protecting your assets.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that money taken. Girl, bye. We're not dumb.
You a gold digger.
So she's probably like, "I'm out of here. I'm not going broke for you." And I can't, for the point of a woman, I can't say I blame her. That's a whole different show.
That's a whole different show.
I am saying that training is not the answer.
No,
now
it's
they
not.
have all this motivational interviewing and things that they do. They ask you these questions on interviews or whatever. Give a police officer a 1-year contract, renewable every year, and they have to have their own professional liability insurance. When they do wrong, it come out their damn pocket.
I'll give you one better than that. Come and live in my house for a year. In my neighborhood for a year as a white cop. And let this go on around you, and you'll see how we really are about police brutality by white racist cops. Come live in my neighborhood. Come sit and see how my neighborhood reacts to that, and see if you come out your door or not. That's how we feel when we come out our door. When we see a black cop, we like, oh, cool, you know. We see a white cop, oh, Jesus, don't let them follow me. Oh my God! Is anything in his car? You know what I'm saying? Do I got my license on me?
Yeah,
Man,
you gotta get ready.
Can I go across 8 Mile and just simply go get a smoothie from the tropical smoothie place without getting pulled over because I came across the mile marker? You know what I mean? It's not, cops cannot be de-escalated. It's already set in stone. Only thing you can do is make them pay their own way. So if you beat a black man, you pay for his medical, you pay for his damage, you pay for his mental, you pay for his family being upset. You pay for all of that out your pocket.
I think
and
they
if you
should have
don't,
malpractice
we lock you
insurance,
up.
like
and
a doctor.
And we put you in a cell with Bubba.
And you can, and that's another thing. Putting them in protective custody. If you want to kneel on somebody's neck, go on in General Pop and kneel on all the necks you want. It's like 1,000 necks out there. You can kneel all day.
Do they put you in protective custody when they lock you up?
No.
My father was in his, I think it was 48. He got stopped on a traffic violation. He had a ticket. They took him to Macomb County Jail and put him in a cell at 48 years old with a bunch of Mexicans, and they kicked his ass all the time he was in there. When we got him out, he was so bruised up and kicked up. They didn't even let us. The court system wouldn't even let us sue Macomb County Jail. So it's like a franchise
It's
to
a
me.
gang. It's like a gang. Well, we are just about out of time.
Yep.
This has been a wonderful welcome back, Detroit, and everybody on the live from around the country, because I think Barry Dobb is out in Connecticut right now. So we have people on the live. I appreciate it. You know, COVID-19 had me down for a little while, but I'm back. So thank you for listening to Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream. The goal of this show is not to spill tea or to make you feel dazed like you had a shot of cheap liquor. It's just to make you see things from a different perspective, man. And I want to thank my brother Jerome for coming in to the studio with today.
Anytime.
So he said anytime. So I will be calling him to come back. I love you all. Have a great week. We will see you next Monday at 7. So long.
I'm just trying to do the best that I can as a strong black man. Yeah. Here I stand as a strong black man, having done all I can to please my fellow man.